Good morning, Oaklawn fans, and welcome to the Sunday edition of Oaklawn Today. Nancy Holthus joined alongside track announcer Matt Dinnerman. Matt, yesterday I gave our card an A+. Because
that's
of
a high bar.
how impressive some of those stretch runs that we saw yesterday. We saw our meets first dead heat. I mean, if you came yesterday as a novice, you certainly became an entrenched racing fan from the product yesterday.
And if you didn't, you're probably not coming back. That was the type of day, Nancy, that you want to come to the track and experience yourself.
Yes.
The crowd was having a great time out here, just cheering and the oohs and ahs. That's one of my favorite things during a photo is hearing the ooh and ah of the slow motion camera.
I mean, I just got goosebumps in my office just watching some of these. You know, some are our top picks, so you really want to root those home. But, man, what a show yesterday. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, we had our first dead heat. So, definitely an A+ on the card from a performance standpoint.
Yeah, and we don't give A++.
No,
so
we don't.
You got to go to the highest
Yeah,
bar,
it's typically
Nancy.
those really big days.
Yeah.
But, super efforts yesterday from all those involved. It's a little cool outside, but I love to see that the sun is shining. So, let's take a look at our weather page. We do have a fast track and winds out of the east-northeast at 15 miles an hour. That's quite a wind, and that's why we're seeing that temp currently at 49 degrees, but you gotta love that it is sunny. So very happy that we've got some sunshine out there, but I tell you what, that wind goes right through you.
Oh, it definitely does. That's why they call it the wind chill.
Yes,
because
exactly.
It definitely can cool things off, but it's a beautiful day. Actually, yesterday, for most of the card, we had a couple sunny races, but it was overcast, but it was actually fairly warm, especially for a December day here in Arkansas. And today, we got a little bit of wind, but the sun's out. It's a great day for racing. 6 days in a row with a fast track, too.
Yeah,
that's a good thing to start
love
off the
that.
week.
And if you don't like the temperatures now, wait till Christmas because it's supposed to be in the low 70s. So we were joking with some owners yesterday. You want to take the boat out on Christmas Day because it'll be that beautiful. So we will return the day after Christmas this year and pick live racing back up on Thursday for a very good card.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our news page because we had a lot of activity yesterday. How about Walter De La Cruz as he scored his 200th Oaklawn victory, and Joel Rosario earned a double aboard Rattle and Roll in the Tinsel Stakes. I don't think he ever moved, never cocked his stick. It was just all so beautifully done. Christian Torres, how about that with a riding triple? We're seeing some very competitive races in our jocks room, and the classics did return over $32,000. What was it, like 170 or something in the pool wound up?
Much
it might have been even
$305,000.
I stand corrected. Double what I just said. Really impressive races. And this afternoon, Hilarito is favored in the Poinsettia Stakes. And of course, happy holidays from us to all of our team members, our fans, and the horsemen. So we hope you have a great couple of dark days as we celebrate those holidays. And as I said, live racing will resume on Boxing Day.
There you go.
On December 26th. So,
the day after Christmas.
The day after Christmas, yes. So we will return, and that means that the Smarty Jones is not far away. I asked some of the racing office, who are your potential contenders? Obviously, we've talked about, there's going to be some Brad Cox attendees. There's going to be some Steve Asmussen. And those big barns, it's not unusual for them to have multiple entrants in a race like that as we do kick off our 3-year-old series.
And, of course, looking at these races, they're Kentucky Derby points races.
Yes.
Every race matters at this point, and every point matters.
Absolutely.
So if you have a horse that's feeling good, you want on the Derby trail, excuse me, especially now because this is the easiest of all four. No races are ever easy, but the Smarty Jones, maybe you won't see as big of a field as the Southwest or the Rebel. So if you got a horse doing well, you want to run him in the Smarty Jones, not only you're getting Kentucky Derby points, but at this point in time, $250,000 in the pot. Look, the Fairgrounds ran a $100,000 race yesterday.
That's a stakes race, or that's an allowance race.
That's an allowance race for us. But it tells you there's money here as well to be had. Kentucky Derby points, always a fun race. The Smarty Jones, named after just an exceptional horse.
Yes, and the Oaklawn 3-year-old series is the richest road to the Kentucky Derby. We're very proud of that, I like to say. So, that's why you see all these horsemen coming from all across the country to compete in our program. So very excited as we have 10 races on the docket this afternoon. So Without further ado, let's get started. We open the card with Arkansas bred fillies and mares, a $10,000 claim, and they're going to sprint 6 furlongs in distance. This also is the first leg of the early 50-cent pick 5, and nice to see David Cabrera back with us. And
he won the riding title a few years ago.
He
right?
did. He absolutely did.
Here.
So, Matt, what do you think about this Arky bred race?
Well, I'm going to try to beat Summer Shoes on the win end. 5-2 the favorite. She probably will be favored. Coming off a half-length loss at this, not this kind of level, but a lower level claiming condition for state breds. That was back in April, though. We haven't seen her in 8 months. I'm going to pick the girl in red in here. I know her form's bad, but 2 of her 3 races came against Allowance Company, Open Allowance Company at that. So with that in mind, you can be forgiving of it. Second start off an 11-month break for Brett Calhoun here. Brett's almost 20% with runners second off a layoff over 180 days. This is a really good spot for her, I think, to run well. She should be fit with the race under her belt last time out, going 6.5 at Delta. The girl in red is my pick. She's the second choice on the board currently. And, Nancy, you don't have all red, but you got a little red.
I got a little bit of red,
my
waistband and everything.
So maybe that's a positive sign.
Maybe, you don't know. One reason I didn't pick Summer Shoes, I did use her in my selections, but coming off breaks like this, she typically needs a race under her belt before she really shows her stuff out on the racetrack. So sometimes I like to give, we've talked about this, giving horses a race under their belt before they really can progress. With that said, I went just to the outside of Matt, and that is the number 4 Wildwood Queen, John Horan and Walter De La Cruz, as he looks for his 201st Oaklawn win. She is actually hoping to score right back after winning against beaten $5,000 runners at Hawthorne. That was in September. Now, she's very competitive this summer when facing Open Company. So we've been talking about how much better the Arkansas bred program is, that sometimes they don't always go on the shelf and wait for the next meet. They travel around and get those paychecks. Her better efforts have found her not too far off the pace, but certainly could be a solid contender on the move back to stakes level. Arkansas bred level. So really nice opener to kick off the Sunday program. As we turn the page to race number 2, this is for fillies and mares, a 20 starter set to go 1 mile. Nobody in for that $30,000 tag. So here's a look, and not a whole lot of changes today. Everybody's wanting to compete, get some of that Christmas cash late. But Matt, what are your thoughts here in race number 2?
They're trying to pad the bankroll so tomorrow we can all go to the mall here. At least
exactly.
the horsemen can and buy some presents for the holidays. I'm going to take the second choice on the morning line here, Nancy. Our Liberty Bell, who comes off a couple of off-the-board finishes against Tough Starter Allowance Company in Kentucky. I think this is an easier group. The last time this runner sprinted was well behind, like much farther back than I would have expected, and only lost by 3. Came with a nice run at 8-5 as the second choice against a good starter group. I think this is a little bit of an easier spot for her compared to the races in Kentucky based on what I've seen of who she's been running against. Hopefully she can be a little bit closer. She's not one that's usually close to the pace. There's not abundance of speed in here. That's a little bit of a concern for me. But I think she's got one of the better finishing abilities of any horse in this race. So she's going to be my pick. Our Liberty Bell with Francisco Arrieta, who there's just something about Francisco here at Oaklawn. He's just got that Oaklawn magic. He really rides this course well.
Well, you know what? When some horses get here, that exact thing happens, and they just become just better when they get here, and especially when you're on a good roll and have that momentum coming in, as Francisco did, as he looks for back-to-back leading rider titles. So it's going to be a long meet. We still got a long way to go. Matt and I are going to flop our top 2. I'm going to go with the number 7, Windy Walk. Chris Davis has horses on the grounds. Luis Saez in the irons. Now, she didn't seem to show much on the turf last go, but was a winner over the main prior to that at Keeneland, and that was facing similar, and scored from the bell. I think she's going to be a front runner today and be out there early, but I love that she does get Luis Saez aboard, as he's been in the irons for 4 of her 10 career victories. So a very impressive race for number 2 for those fillies and mares. Race number 3 is a $20,000 claim price, and they are all non-winners of 2, 3-year-olds and up, as they will contest 6 furlongs in distance. So let's take a look at the field, and we see a lot of familiar names in here, but might be also, Matt, I predict you're going to be announcing some claims and horses
You
going to
think
new
so?
barns today. I do.
Well, and the thing is, this is a non-2 race, so horses have their condition here, even if they don't win this race. It's funny because sometimes, as you know, Nancy, being a horsewoman, sometimes when you're claiming a horse, you don't want him to win because then you keep the condition.
Exactly.
But I would agree. I think that there are some very claimable horses in this race and horses that have some okay numbers and form here. I'm going to pick a horse that you didn't pick in your top 4, Nancy, which tells me that this is a very competitive race. But this horse is also a price, and I like that you went with a price for the first race, by the way. So I'm going to try to match you.
Okay, I see you and raise you, so let's go.
This horse is 12-1. You picked an 8-1 on the morning line, which is still a very good price. I'm going to pick Mahmood in here. Now, I didn't have a strong opinion on this race, and I just kept looking at the favorites, and I said, these horses seem beatable to me. And I'm going to pick a horse here that you look on the page, comes out of a 20,000 non-2 lifetime race 2 starts ago, went off at 5-1 in a field of 6 that day, and ran okay against the field assembled that afternoon, then came back and just didn't run a step last time out, going 7 furlongs, cuts back to the 6 furlongs here. I think this horse's very best race can put him right there. If you look at his numbers, his maiden win was very nice at Sam Houston, ran a really respectable 3rd at this level at Remington, and I think that race was comparable to this one. So I agree with the morning line. I do think that this horse will need to improve and run an A+ race to win the race, but he's got a real nice stalking running style in a race where there's a couple of speed horses in here, and we saw Jaime Torres, Mertcon Cantermachi team up a couple times yesterday, and I think they're going to be doing well as the meet gets on here.
And that Cantermachi is a new name here to Oaklawn, having been primarily on the East Coast. So we've kind of got that influx from the West Coast. Now we're getting more and more participation from the other side of the country. I'm going to go with the number 5. That is Solvo. I'm gonna lean to you for the name correction. Solivo. Thank you, Matt.
Solivo
is one of 2 Asmussen contenders. It did take a minute for the light to go off, but it looks like it came on.
That's true.
In the last couple of starts, and the money, the last 4, breaking his maiden 2 back at Remington, and then took on winners. A lot of time that's a big step up, going from the winning maiden ranks into winning company, but ran 2nd as the favorite, and that was at today's condition. I think he's going to benefit from some quick fractions on the front end to chase. So we'll see if Steve Asmussen, who, by the way, is, I think, 3 wins away from 1,000 Oaklawn victories.
Wow.
So it almost seems like we've had so many milestones already this season, and I'm just very looking forward to, because that's a really big accomplishment. A lot of trainers hope to win 1,000 races, and he's done it here. So, yeah.
The thing that's amazing about milestones for horse people is it's not about the number or, hey, look, I'm walking around displaying my ego, telling you I won 1,000 races at Oaklawn, or however you may win.
Yeah.
It's about the fact that you had to work so darn hard to do it. And if you know how horse people are, they don't get days off.
No.
Vacations are unheard of. And to get to those numbers, it takes so much dedication. It's mind-boggling in a way how much part of your life you have to put into that. So that's why we at Oaklawn feel it's very important to celebrate those milestones.
Of course.
Because it really means a lot. This is a lot of people's lives are in horse racing. It's not just a job. It's a lifestyle.
Absolutely. Race number 4 is for 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 races since June 21st. They're in for the 10 tag and will go 3/4 of a mile. Did have just 1 scratch of the number 11 on the far outside. And this is an interesting race, Matt, as there looks to be a decent amount of speed in the group.
There is a decent amount of speed, and we saw yesterday a few races, Nancy. We can get a feel for a riding colony and how they ride tracks and how they ride horses. And here at Oaklawn, what we saw yesterday, and it's very much what I've seen since my first day I was here, they're very aggressive here. If they have a speed horse, they ride him out of the gate. They let him flash that speed. They don't take him back. So with that in mind, if you see a lot of pace on paper, don't be surprised if it ends up happening.
Right.
This was one of those races where you just keep looking at it. I feel like I need to be in an insane asylum. I'm going crazy for looking at this race because I just could not figure out who's going to win this race.
I'm right there with you.
I think this is one of these races that you've got horses with inconsistent form. A lot of them are pros. They've been around for a while. They've run a lot of races. But sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. So with that in mind, it's really tricky to sort of tab who's going to win this race or who even is going to run well. I decided I might as well take a class dropper here that's a decent price on the morning line. I don't think you're going to get it with the human connections, Chris Hartman, Rafael Bejarano. They're teaming up with JJ's Joker, who comes off just an atrocious run with really no excuses. But this horse is in for 25 at Churchill. Now he's in for 10 non-2Y, which if you look at that, that's a condition race for horses, the non-winners of a race since October 21st. So not only does he drop in price tag, but also comes out of an open race where anybody can run for 25. Now he's in a restricted race. So by all intents and purposes, this is an easier group here. He's going to be coming probably from midfield. He can sit a couple lengths off the pace if he needs to here. His two-back race wasn't that bad, but had finished behind Born Flawless that day, who's the morning line favorite. I do think there's a lot of pace in here, and I think Born Flawless needs to be close. That's another reason why I'm going to try to beat him on the win end.
Well, I'm hoping to get Born Flawless to the winner's circle.
Okay.
Jason Cook sends this one in with Luis Saez aboard. Now, his 2 wins this year have come against tougher open company and when racing on the front end. He did join the barn 2 starts back off a second against open $16,000 company, but he came right back just 2 weeks later against tougher $25,000 company and chased the quick fractions to run 6th. But I like that he's got a little more time between races now, and he looks for his 9th career win on the class drop. So a lot of times when handicapping, if you see a horse that maybe didn't fare so well, I'll sometimes look at those dates and see, how quickly they ran back. As we talk about, some horses run better fresh, and some do need a start under their belt. Let's take a look at race number 5, as this is the start of the $1 Classics. No carryover today because it was hit yesterday. Maiden 40 for 3-year-olds and up, and they will contest 6 furlongs in distance. And just one first-timer, he kind of is right in the middle of the starting gate, and that is the number 5, Tall Cotton. But somebody is looking to get their picture taken and graduate before the end of the year.
Well, Tall Cotton is actually having a stakes-winning sprinter, so that's interesting. Her pedigree suggests she'll want 1 turn on the bottom side, but she's 30 to 1 on the morning line. So if you pick her and she wins, well, or he, I should say, then well done. I'm going to go to a horse first off the claim by Sippy Contreras, who's 23% at this angle from a 79-horse sample. His name is Papa Echo. This horse has been a little bit inconsistent, but the key is he's been running in a lot of maiden special weight races and hasn't been able to get the job done. Ran second last time out for maiden 50 as the favorite. Went to the lead, got a clear lead, and got tagged late for maiden 50 over a sloppy track at Churchill. That was going 7 furlongs. So he cuts back to the 6 furlong distance, takes a 3-month break. First off the claim for Sippy. Very good off the claim. And I think today's the day. This seems like a type of field that he can handle, but he needs to come with his best. And the key is, too, I think this horse could stalk because in his first career race, he hit the board stalking the pace. So that tells me he doesn't necessarily need the lead. I think he makes a lot of sense. I also don't think we're going to get 9-2. I think he'll be lower.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to be a lower odds. But, yeah, as Matt said, a huge effort off of that 9-month layoff as he did dip in for maiden 50. And that can be a big, big handicapping angle going from maiden allowance to maiden claimers. That's a significant handicapping angle because they're going to get an easier field. But he was the beaten favorite last go after being close to the pace. But, yeah, I'm on the Sippy Contreras contender as well, as he does get Manny Esquivel in the iron. So a good maiden field, good maiden group.
I think so, and this is the type of race where if a couple horses got claimed, I wouldn't be surprised because even though they haven't won a race, they actually appear to have some ability, some of the top contenders here.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and we will come back with race number 6, the first leg of the late 50-cent Pick 5.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn Anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere. Exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Make every race day a win at Oaklawn. Throughout the 2025-2026 live race season, Fridays and Sundays are your days to swipe at any swipe station throughout the racing side. Just insert your valid state ID or driver's license to see if luck is on your side. If you win, a ticket will print telling you what you won and where to claim it. So grab your prize before the day ends. Guests must be 18 or older to swipe and win. From free food and race bets to special discounts at the racing gift shop, every swipe brings a little thrill, and maybe even a surprise. Don't just watch the races, join the fun and see what you can win at Oaklawn.
And they're off in the Poinsettia stake. And Spirit Wind has taken command. Fibber the Gray coming to the outside for a final try, but it's Spirit Wind. Spirit Wind, Fernando Jara to win the Poinsettia.
Back with race number 6, as this is the first leg of a 50-cent pick 5, and we've seen some really good payouts on these wagers, as we did see a payout on the classics yesterday. So I think a lot of people will be participating in a lot of these ventures. This race is for 3-year-olds and up. $20,000 is a tag, and they are going to contest 6 furlongs in distance. We've got a very experienced group lined up for the 6th. And Matt, how do you see this one?
I see this race as just being another really competitive race.
Yes.
I think this is a very tough race to get out of to kick off the late pick 5. I would spread if I was playing the late pick 5 here. I picked a horse that won last time out of Keeneland. I got no money, stalked the pace, defeated 2 next out winners. Thought it was a really nice win for $20,000. Freshens up 2 months here. First off the claim for Tanner Tracy from a 21-horse sample. He's 33% first off the claim. So not a huge sample size there, but one that tells us that this trainer, this outfit is very effective, claiming horses, even if they freshen them up, getting them to run well. A little bit of a light work pattern here, but I got no money with Tyler Bacon, who has the call. This horse ran a couple good races last year here, so also likes the track.
Yeah, the 8-year-old had a very productive summer versus beaten 20 runners and has been very popular in the claim box as well. The last 2 wins have been for different connections, so I like that he's adaptable. Shows you how versatile this runner can be. And Matt mentioned that win at Keeneland back in October, and the barn excels off of the purchase as he does debut for New Connections again today at 33%. And I'm thinking is just going to sit off the pace, which he does have some speed to his outside. So I got no money. Hopefully going to get the leg up for trainer Tanner Tracy and Tyler Bacon, who we look forward to seeing back in the winner's circle.
And he's really made that nice leap from apprentice to journeyman, which is an extremely difficult leap for a rider, because you get a lot of good business with that weight break, and then sometimes you just can't retain that same business. And his agent, Brian Osmond's done a great job putting him on horses, keeping him going. And he himself, Tyler, you see him out here often in the morning, so his work ethic has not changed and is leaving him with plenty of opportunities to be successful.
Yeah, very important. It is hard when you come as a bug and have that success to return back to the same track and still be viable. So yeah, congrats to him. Race number 7 is non-winners of 2. $75,000 is the purchase price. 3-year-olds and up, and they will contest 6 furlongs. Did have a scratch of the number 1, and that's a key scratch as well. That was your 3-1 morning line favorite, Rowdy Riot. But that does leave us a very competitive and speedy field of 9.
Sure thing, and 7-2 on the morning line for Camp Evans, your morning line favorite. That tells you what you need to know. Usually when a 7-2 morning line favorite's on the board, that tells you that the morning line maker thinks the betting public's going to spread out the money, and usually they're correct with that in mind. I picked Thunderhawk at 6-1 in here. Dropping out of an allowance race last time out, sat in midfield, didn't do much running at Churchill Downs, is in for 75, none 2. And second off the break, off 9.5-month layoff here for trainer Peter Urton, who actually has a string at Fairgrounds this year. So he shipped a few up here already to compete on our dirt course here in Hot Springs. This horse ran a terrific race before the layoff 2 starts ago, believe it or not, here at Oaklawn for Peter Urton. Just lost by a neck, had some issues in upper stretch that he had to navigate, and then he ducked to the inside. There was some traffic problems there, and I think probably with a clear trip would have won the race, only lost by a neck. That was against Allowance Company last year, small field, 3-year-olds restricted. He's now 3 facing older here in this allowance, but with a race under his belt, I think there's room for improvement here, and I think he's going to get a good stalking trip right off. What you say, Nancy, and I agree with you, Speed Brigade.
Absolutely. I'm going to go just to the inside of Matt's selection with the number 7, Ripped, coming from the barn of Steve Asmussen, Eric, and the Irons. This one previously, several starts back, was trained by the late, great Dwayne Lucas, but now in the Asmussen barn for BC Stables. $650,000 purchase and broke his maiden 2-back sprinting. That was also his 13th start, so it kind of took a little bit of time for him to get that graduation day. He then stretched out around Churchill Downs 1-turn mile and took on winners in a very competitive first-level allowance and really was never a threat. So he shortens back up, in for the tag today, the first time actually in for a tag, and I'm thinking looks to settle off of the early pace. And we were kind of, it was interesting, Matt, in the stakes yesterday, going down to a field of 5 and with Rattle and Roll really needing that pace to run at. And I asked Joel Rosario, was there a concern with a very abbreviated field that you were going to get that pace up front? So it actually worked out to his benefit.
The old phrase, pace makes the race.
True.
And no matter how long racing is around, that pace makes the race angle will always ring true to form.
Yes.
And that's why, as a handicapper, Nancy, I'm actually a pace handicapper first and foremost. My theory is that the best horses don't always win the race.
Right.
Sometimes the horses that are best with the best trip win the race.
And we've seen that in some of the biggest races run in the world,
Of
the
course.
Kentucky Derby,
Yeah.
Breeders' Cup races. So we'll see how they fare. Speaking of stakes, we have our stakes to kick off race 8 and the first leg of the $3 Get Out Pick 3. This is the Poinsettia Stakes, and they will go very quickly at 5.5 furlongs for fillies and mares. No scratches or changes in the field, and the morning line favorite, and the one to beat, is Hilarito.
Hilarito for David Jacobson. Boy, this mare has been just terrific. I mean, 6 wins, 2 seconds from 8 starts. You can't get much better than that. She comes off a stakes win in the stakes debut last time out at Churchill. And what I liked about that race, she'd never been worse than first call in all of her races. And last time out, for a little while, she actually stalked the pace and made an early move to the lead. So at least that tells me that this horse has a little bit of versatility. She's inside of Can't Believe It, who's pretty quick as well. But I think Ricardo Santana Jr. needs to ride her like he's on the best filly, and he's got a good chance to win this if he does. Just going to send out of the gate. 5.5 furlongs should be perfect for her. I'm not going to get too creative here, Nancy. I like Hilarito in here. I think the only way she loses is if A, she doesn't run a race.
Yeah.
Like anybody else that's a favorite.
Which happens.
Which can happen. Yeah. This is horse racing. Or B, as we talked about, great segue, pace makes the race.
Exactly.
Maybe somebody just goes with her and she commits and they duel each other in submission and someone comes from off of it. But she is the best horse. And there are some nice fillies in here, but she just looks like a real runner.
Yeah, I love her consistency. And when our notes writer, Robert Yates, was talking to David Jacobson specifically about Hilarito, he said he loves the 5.5 distance for her. She's undefeated in just one start at that 5.5, and said they'll take advantage of the speed in this small field, and certainly does look to be the one to catch. So it's interesting. Today, we're going to have one on the front end, and yesterday we had one come from way off the pace. So
yeah,
that just shows you how fair the track plays here at Oaklawn.
Definitely. And all horse players want a fair track.
Yes.
There's not a single horse player that says, I don't want a fair track, unless I guess you pick all speed horses every single race, then maybe
Exactly.
you're okay with it. But that really makes for better racing, and it makes for more opportunities to find value as well.
100%. The 9th race is the first leg of the $5 late double. And don't forget, those are smaller takeouts as well on the $5 late double and the $3 Get Out Pick 3. The 9th is for fillies and mares, a first level allowance going a mile and a 16th in distance. No scratches or changes in the field of 11. And it'd be a good way to close out the year with an allowance win for some of these.
It sure would for $115,000. And by the way, we're projected to see even higher purses after the break.
Yes.
So a lot of green. Miss Authentic's my pick at 12-1. She was a dominant allowance winner in Indiana. Now, you look at allowance races at Indiana versus allowance races here. Easier company over there for the most part, usually. But she ran in a real strong second-level allowance last time out on the grass. Stalked the pace, ran third in a field of 9 at Churchill Downs. Those are as good of allowance runners on the turf as you're going to find in the country. This is a class drop because she's eligible for this first-level race here at Oaklawn, even though she won that race in allowance company in Indiana because she did not win more than $24,000 that afternoon because the purse is lower, so she's still eligible for this. This is a class drop for her. She's 12-1. Who knows if we get it, but I do not think she'll be favored either. One that has very consistent form as of late, and really her whole career, she has just tried hard every race, and I like that about her. She can run well on turf. She can run well on dirt. Both of her career wins came on the dirt here, so the surface switch isn't a problem. I think she's real appealing for Eddie Keneally, who ships this one in, too.
Yes,
so that's a positive.
That's big. A lot of times, and we've seen in our stakes program already, some of these horses are cross-entered into different stakes in different states, but they choose to come to Oaklawn because getting that form on your horse with some Oaklawn credit makes them return to hopefully get some more money.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go with the morning line favorite. That is L.A. Woman. Brad Cox, who has 2 in here, does give Luis Saez the call. Certainly on paper, the one to beat, but they don't run on paper. Hopefully this transitions over to the track, and she's been in the money all 4 starts since returning off of that lengthy layoffs. Rest does a body good, does exit a dominant win against Non-2 in Indiana, scoring by more than 4 as the favorite. She likes to be involved early, and I see that as she will be from the start. So very interesting. You know, Brad Cox especially does very well at Indiana. So
yes.
He will send some of his top babies to break their maiden or get that confidence boost and an allowance. So, you know, some people say, oh, it broke it at maiden. Monomoy Girl broke her maiden in Indiana. So a lot of times they don't care about the purse. They want that good experience so the horse remembers it later on.
Especially these owners with a lot of money. They're looking at it as, you know what, whether we win for $100,000 or $50,000, the maiden win, we're just trying to break it. We can run for big money later if we have to. And the fact of the matter is these big barns, Brad Cox, Chad Brown, I see it at Monmouth sometimes.
Oh,
the purses are pretty decent there. But right now he goes to Tampa Bay Downs where the purses aren't huge there if you're not a Florida bred. They've got so many horses that you can't run them all against each other. You got to spread them out a little bit. So it's deceiving, as you say. You're 100% right, Nancy. You look and you go, well, maybe they didn't think the horse is that good if they're running in the second string. Not necessarily the case. Sometimes it's just this is where they fit. The timing's right for the race. Let's break their maiden and get a confidence booster, too, for them.
And we did see that big confidence boost yesterday and Rattle and Roll in our feature. And like you said, that confidence boost is a big thing. Also, horses, it's a psychological game as well. So a lot of times when you see workers, they'll have somebody work off the good horse, and then, you know, hopefully the one that got beat gets to come back and get some confidence as well.
I remember there was an instance when I was a baseball player. I struck out 2 times, and then the next 2 at-bats in the game, I flew out to the catcher twice, which is almost worse than striking out when you fly out to the catcher, by the way, in baseball. And the confidence level just wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I was reminded by a coach, you need to just forget about it. We got a game tomorrow. And when I did forget about it, I got to hit the first at-bat. And it just goes to show if I did not have that confidence going into the next game, it's a pretty good chance that I wouldn't have had a good at-bat. And it's any athlete, especially we talk about the jockeys, too, human element. There's confidence builders. There are things that you can do to keep yourself confident. But if you keep striking out, it's pretty easy to just naturally lose that morale a little bit.
Absolutely.
And with Rattle and Roll, another instance, as you said, Nancy, with, well, you can't look at that race and say, well, he's in the tinsel, so maybe they think he lost a step. That was purely a confidence booster. That was purely getting him back in good form. So reading between the lines, Nancy, I think as a handicapper is very important.
Yeah, and strategy is key as well. The 10th and nightcap as we close out the weekend is for fillies and mares. A first-level allowance set to contest a mile and a 16th. And take a look. We have a field of 11 to close out the day.
Yeah, and Kenny McPeak's really been firing here, and he had a runner off a layoff on opening week that I looked at the work pattern, and I said, boy, this horse doesn't look like he's going to be 100% crank for this race, and still won. This horse has an even better work pattern in terms of foundation here. Gowell's Delight coming off a 5-month break, and I think makes a lot of sense. If you look at this horse's races, has had a couple rough trips, was actually on the Kentucky Oaks Trail last year and actually ran in a race here on the Kentucky Oaks Trail and got a bad trip that day, by the way. And she was my pick in the race, too. That was in the Martha Washington. But look, she's a grade 2 place, multiple grade 2 place runner as a 3-year-old early in the season last year. I think based on how the McPeaks are running, based on the field that's assembled here, I don't think this is the strongest first-level allowance race. If she's fit and she shows up like she did last year with her best races, she's going to be awfully tough.
Yeah, she is a 3-year-old taking on older for the first time in her career. Sometimes that can be a big step up, but the fact that I think it's the end of the year kind of makes a little bit of a difference because they've got that maturity under their belt, and she certainly is the class of the field, being a multiple graded stakes placed. So she didn't get a fair shot last time racing over the slop. She finally, after her last two starts, she does get a fast surface today, and I like that they've really getting her ready and back to that groove as she's fired off back-to-back bullet drills down at the fairgrounds. So tells me that they like to ship up here because of our purses and get the job done and graduate here. So she is making her second Oaklawn start, hoping to make it a winning one. So we'll see how Gowell's Delight does fare in the nightcap with Manny Escobar in the irons. Good card.
Very good card, and especially the last few races just packed with quality. We drew for our 2-year-old day for next Saturday.
Yes.
That's always one of my favorite days here at Oaklawn, and Sunday we've got another decent card that's about to be drawn here. So it's good to be at Oaklawn Park if you're a racing fan.
Absolutely. So in addition, we have put together a $20 show bet bonus parlay, our long shot and top pick. Matt's going to go, we're both going to start in race number 2. Matt goes to 7, 9, and 10 for his show bet parlay. And I'm going 2, 4, 5, 8, rounding it out with Hillarito. Long shot play of the day for Matt is Mammut in the 3rd. And I'm going to go to the opener with Wildwood Queen. And our top pick, sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Certainly the one to beat in the feature is the number 2, Hillarito. But I'm going to start out with mine as Windy Walk in race number 2. So a really good afternoon. We had a big presence here yesterday, giving away all kinds of money. So yeah, it's going to be a good way to close out the race week.
Definitely. And right before the holidays, we're going to get it jazzed up for this race card today. 10 races on the docket. And every day, I love this concept. We have a stake on the holiday meeting, and it's just keeping you interested.
That's a very
it's
big
huge,
deal.
And it keeps you interested. There's always a big race to look forward to, and we've got the Oaklawn Anywhere overnight. I believe it's the Oaklawn. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. That's next Sunday. I'm thinking way ahead of ourselves. We've got the Poinsettia today.
Poinsettia today.
For filly and mare sprinters, which is always, I think, like a really fun sort of like underrated condition, filly and mare sprinters. They're never really at the forefront because you're looking at the older routers, but you get some really fast fillies and mares that really make for cool conditions in those filly and mare sprints. So it's going to be a fun day.
It's nice to see them in the spotlight this afternoon as the sun is shining. We will return on Thursday. Is that right? No, wait, Friday.
We'll return on Friday, and then after next week, we do have a 4-day race week to finish off our holiday meet, which is flying by,
Yes,
Nancy.
it is. So perfect gift for Christmas is the Oaklawn gift card, which you can get at our purveyors. So if you don't know what to get your special someone or a friend, that's a good way to give them a little happy stuff.
Oh, we got so many things here to have people enjoy from all walks of life, ages, every age, and that gift shop, really good spot.
Beautiful stuff. Yeah, definitely check out the racing gift shop. If you're not sure what to get somebody, they got plenty of ideas for you. Also, don't forget to sign up for an Oaklawn Rewards card. Head to the information booth if you haven't got one yet and earn points for your dollars wagered. And you can transition those points into food comps, merch comps. So something we're really excited to offer our racing side this year. So it looks like we're going to have some sunny and 70 while we're off until we come back Friday. So it's going to be a beautiful Christmas holiday. It's kind of weird when you can be outside in shorts on Christmas.
Yeah, it's definitely a different thing when you're in the East Coast, or I mean, even in New Jersey, I think it's like 30 degrees right now.
Ugh.
So, and that's where I am during the summertime. So, it's going to feel like California, and I'm going to be extremely selfish and say that I was part of the reason that I brought that California weather here, being in California.
Well, thank you, Matt, for that. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful week.
Yes.
And that's because Mother Nature likes racing as well.
Yes, she does. She loves racing. So you'll see Matt upstairs, and also Andy Biancone is going to be joining us in the paddock for a few of her selections, and you'll see me out there as well. So happy holidays to everybody, all of our crew on the third floor that works so hard, all of our horsemen, our team members, and of course, you, the fans. We hope you have a safe and happy holiday, and we'll return next week. And for Matt almost said Matt Holthus. For Matt Dinnerman, I'm Nancy Holthus. Good luck here on the Sunday program.
In starlit nights I saw you, so cruelly you kissed me. Your lips a magic world, your sky all hung with jewels. The killing moon will come too soon. Fate up against your will. Through the thick and thin, he will wait until you give yourself to him.
touch of your hand makes my pulse react. That it's only the thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. You must try to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? It may seem to you that I'm acting confused when you're close to me. If I tend to look dazed, I read it someplace. I've got cause to be. There's a name for it. There's a phrase that fits. But whatever the reason, you do it for me. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? I've been taking on a new direction, but I have to say, I've been thinking about my own protection. It scares me to feel this way. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? What's got to do with it? What's love but a sweet old-fashioned notion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park. Folks, without further ado, we now ask you to please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our nation's anthem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can now get out your pens, pencils, and programs because we now have today's changes. Here they come. Our dirt track listed as fast today. Sunny skies. Currently 49 degrees. Again, our dirt track is fast. Here come the changes on a 9-race program. In the first race on the program today, we're clear. No changes in race 1. Race 1 starts the early pick 5. The second race begins the early pick 4 sequence, also clear there. No changes in the first 2 races. Over in race number 3, once again, no changes. Race 3 begins the middle pick 5, races 3 through 7. In the fourth race on the program, scratch number 11, Golden Hornet. Number 11, Golden Hornet scratched out of race 4. And also in the fourth race, number 1, Jack Spring Break, is 2 pounds overweight. Race 4 begins the middle pick 4. The fifth race starts the $1 Class 6. No changes were clear in the fifth race. In the sixth race, beginning the late pick 5 bet, we're clear there. No changes in race number 6. In the seventh race today, scratch number 1, Rowdy Riot. Number 1, Rowdy Riot is out of race number 7, first leg of the late pick 4. The $3 Get Out pick 3 begins in the eighth race with a low 15% takeout. That's our feature, the fifth running of the $150,000 Poinsettia Stakes. We're clear in race number 8, the Poinsettia Stakes. There's no changes. The ninth race starts the late daily double, a $5 minimum wager, low 15% takeout. Number 2, Attagate, is 1 pound overweight. 3 low key, 3 pounds over. The nightcap is race number 10 today. In the finale, we're clear. No changes in race number 10. Those are all the changes, ladies and gentlemen. 22 minutes until the opener. Enjoy your afternoon watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park.
Hey racing fans, ever wondered how to structure a Pick 5 ticket without breaking the bank?
Let's break it down. A pick 5 means picking the winner in 5 consecutive races.
It's often one of the best value bets in racing. Small bets, big potential payouts, but building a smart ticket is key.
You can choose multiple horses in each race, but the more horses you add, the more your ticket costs.
Let's say you're playing the 50-cent Pick 5 starting in race 1.
I like 2 horses in race 1, 3 horses in race 2, 1 horse in race 3, 4 horses in race 4, and 2 horses in race 5.
Let's figure out the cost of your ticket by multiplying the horses in each leg. So 2 times 3 times 1 times 4 times 2 equals 48. Now since you're playing the 50-cent ticket, your total cost is $24.
Since I picked 1 strong horse in race 3, I was able to add more horses in the tougher legs without raising the total cost too much.
It's all about balance. Spread it out in unpredictable races. Single a standout you trust, like Sophie did in race 3. And stay within your budget.
That's how you build a Pick 5 ticket. Good luck at the races.
Ringing the bell holds special significance for the horsemen at Oaklawn and their equine companions. The act of ringing the bell has become a signal of generosity and goodwill. It signifies that a charitable donation has been made to the Arkansas Thoroughbred Retirement and Rehabilitation Foundation. The racing community comes together to support the welfare of retired racehorses through these heartfelt contributions.
street where you live, girls talk about their social lives. They made a lipstick, plastic, and paint. Such a shame in their eyes. All your life, all your past, when's your daddy gonna talk to you? But you were living in another world, trying to get a message through. No one heard a single word you said. They should have seen it in your eyes.
And the runners are now on the track for race 1. Arkansas bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, going 6 furlongs. No changes in the first. Start of the early pick 5. In this race, there's also Win Play Show, Exacta, Trifecta, Superfecta wagering, early daily double, early pick 3 wagering. And again, we start the early pick 5 here, post time 8 minutes away. $77,000 in that early pick 5, and the pool will continue to increase. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, also please note number 9, Kitiara wore blinkers in her last start, and she will be wearing the blinkers in this race again. So please note that's an updated change for you. Number 9, Kitiara wore blinkers in her last race, and she will wear them again today, as you can see on the track. She's got them on.